Peace. Here we and there we go. We got audio, background music. Hey, what's up? I'm HypeHype. I play games, make games, and everything in between. And it's Friday, so we're gonna be playing some games today. And here, check out. Oh no! Check out what I'm currently working on. It's just a kind of like a scenery of. A view from inside, and I want to have it raining cats and dogs, so might just do a little bit tweaking on this, and then we're gonna play some games for today. So let's zoom out, and then we got cats, dogs, and no. For my Apple Pay. All right, let's take a look at this now. So, creating like a landscape scene. I think creating a landscape scenes are really fun to do in HypeHype, and it gets you into the environment of moving things around, using the nodes. This presently will not be a game. I do have ideas of like sub games that I want to make off of this, but as its own game, right now it's just going to be like a view of just checking out cats and dogs falling from the background. So we got this spawner. Well, let's start off with the interval. The interval is every second. And it looks like it's spawning. That can't be right. It shouldn't be. No, let's delete that. The interval goes to the random timer, and the random timer. Oh wait, the random timer is negative plus or minus 5. That actually makes sense, and it's supposed to cause. Oh, what happened to the background music? Oh, there we go. It's just transition. It's supposed to change the offset of the X, Y, and Z variable so that when the cats, in this case, a single cat fall, it can be in any multitude of locations, basically just not falling in the same spot. And we can look at the spawner. We can see that the X, Y, and Z. This should actually be 0. Max target distance. I'm not exactly sure about all of these. Oh, I saw a cat. I saw a falling cat. Okay, that's cool. We'll have to increase the Y value because they're spawning a little bit like in the middle of the screen, and we don't want that. So the easiest way to do that is just to increase it. Oh, and then maybe might need to disable this one actually. Offset spawner Y. Delete that. And I actually want to, well, don't see any cats, so. A good way to get the particles to work is to just not have anything selected, and then the particles will work. But I also want to test, so maybe I should set up the current camera like this. Oh, set camera and reset camera view. I think it's with set view. Right, no, I wanted set camera. Those two always confuse me. So let's set camera and hit play, and okay, so down there is cats. So maybe this is a y of 15. So I suspect we need a higher y variable. So let's try 25. All right, let's try 15. Where are the cats? Must be random cats and dogs. And let's change the interval to every, well, 1 second is good enough. Okay, so interval goes, executes the random variable. The random variable executes. So this is only for the plus or minus 5. I think we also need to go here and execute the spawner. I swear I had this working before the stream. Maybe I need a different variable for the random node. Let's take a look at this. Testing, 1, 2, 3 is what we call making games live. What's up, Wayward? How goes it? Kind of make some cats fall out of the sky. How are you today? Interval loop. So the z is plus or minus 5. You know what? Maybe I should make these smaller numbers. Just for now. Okay, so what if I don't even have these as number x? Yeah, there should totally be a cat. Enabled loop. Object spawn on start. So let's select this item and then we'll just do some debugging. Oh, I can see the cat right there. Over here. Oh. These are look at variables, give them some target, shoot force. If I put that to 0, what happens? So there's the cat. So for some reason putting a 15 there seems to make the cat, I mean, that looks great, but now let's see. I think that was specific to the y variable. Let's go ahead and do this. Attach it. And I do on random value per link because I think that does multiple random calculations. So that's my guess. Offset X. Okay, let's take a look at that. Okay, look at the top. Something strange is going on up there. Oh, and I think that's because in the cat itself, I have a destroy, which is basically if it collides with another object. But let's turn that off for now. Okay. And the main reason is we want these cats to eventually get destroyed, ideally when it hits the ground, because, I mean, you can see that the cats are piling up, and it's going to be cats, dogs. I mean, it's raining cats and dogs here. So, but for some reason, the collision is colliding with something up here. Do particles have collisions? They do. I should have known that. Wayward, I've been trying to get monk ornaments to do exactly what they did before I placed them on the Christmas tree. The angel of Christmas spirit goes around the tree trying to give happiness with Christmas kisses. Rudolph says she thinks Ian's cute. Sounds like a Christmas story if I have heard of some. Definitely a Christmas story. Okay, cat, collision, trigger, ray, destroy. Wait, did I enable that? Let's take a look. Nope. Enable. So when the cats hit the ground, alright, they're getting destroyed by something up here. Particle. Something. A tree? Okay, not the tree. Well, I can't figure out what is technically destroying them at this moment, so let's... We can mess with that later. But now, it spawns every interval, and I'm trying to think of how to do... Well, I guess I could just always be spawning for raining cats and dogs. It doesn't have to randomly rotate, but I like to take advantage of these nodes, and I am trying to learn how to use them, so... Let's take a look at some of these. Maybe a switch would be a good one to use. We can add a random. There we go, we got random over there. And the switch setup is, here we go. We got case 0, 1, 2, and default. So that's 3 different cases we can do. So let's check that out. So random, minimum of 1, 2, or 3. And the difference between float and integer is that float can be any number with a decimal, and an integer is basically just 1 or 2 or 3. I'm pretty sure. Let's confirm that. See if that's, yep, here we go. Right there, last line, type. So, oh, and then we want an interval too, so that happens every, what, 1 second? That should be good. Every 1 second. Loop it on time. Execute the random. On random execute. Let's try this one. Execute. And then we just need the spawners. Now, I'm sure there's a way to maybe just use one spawner, but I don't know that yet. So we're just gonna have to have multiple spawners, which is okay. Whenever I do, and we'll flip this upside down. Whenever I don't know how to do something more advanced, I tend to have to do the more simpler way, which is a good way to reaffirm that you know how to do that simpler way. And then when you know how to do something more advanced, then you'll be in a better position. But we're not there yet. Okay, so this is at y of 18. So let's put this at y of 19. And this is at a z of 26. Yeah, let's do z of 25. And let's take this. These have offset variables as well. I can't remember if I was able to get the offset x and z variable for the cat to work. So let's take a look. So the cat. Okay, first of all, it seems like 2 cats are following at the same time. So I don't know what's up with that. There should only be 1 cat at a time. But we got 2 cats. They look to be in multiple x and z variables and continually coming from the same y spot. So what if I do this? Okay, and now we got 1 cat. But it's spawning at the same spot, which is not what we want. Let's. And what if we go here and we delete the on-time spawn? So what happens? Do cats still fall from the sky? They do, and they are falling from multiple locations. So they're not being deleted yet, which we'll have to figure that out soon. Oh man, my voice is already going. Yeah, okay, whew, for a second there, I was like, are we even live? I don't know. Okay, so raining cats. Now we need it to rain dogs. We got 1 option here. Duplicate this one. Let's move it up here a little bit. Oops, nope, not like that. And then this case 0. But how does this know it's 0 or 1? Oh, you know what? This actually, okay, so this is something that I always make mistakes on, and I'll probably keep making mistakes on this until I learn correctly. But having a node connect to another node and just making it say execute is probably what you want to do like 50% of the time. The other 50% of the time, you want to transfer the variable or the number, not execute. Execute is just like turning a light switch on, but we're not turning a light switch on, we're passing value. So remove this, and the value is a random number between 1 and 3. We move it over to the switch, and instead of hitting the execute, which is where I make a lot of my mistakes, and I seem to keep wanting to teach this mistake because I keep making it, hit value or seed. Now, mind you, I have no idea what seed is, but I can tell you execute is not what we want. And I do this all the time. So now that value, when this random die rolls either a 1, 2, or 3, that's the value. That value then gets transferred over into the switch node. And before, I wasn't transferring that value. I was just saying execute switch node, which basically does nothing because there's nothing in the switch node. And what we need is the value. So there it is, value. So now, in case of value what is it? 1, 2, or 3. Go to the switch and we go activate this spawner. And now we want execute, because what we want is to turn that spawner on. What will that spawner do? It will, let's grab it. And this is something I often make mistakes at, is I forget to attach objects to either the spawner or the transform. Basically your action nodes, things that are doing stuff. You wanna make sure something's attached to it. It doesn't just attach because it's, you know, how do I say it? Sometimes I have some of the stuff connected, but that's not enough. So it's really easy. We just put our finger there and remove it. Let's get it raining dogs. I have a chihuahua here. Where's the chihuahua? Oh, he's right there. Okay. So let's move it in here. We grab the dude and I didn't get him. He is super small. There we go. And you know what? I'm going to change his color. Do like a light brown. So now when we hit play, we should see occasionally, nope, was it? There's no chihuahuas? Come on. Basically the same setup. So we got here, interval, override. Executes the random node. The random node goes on. The truth, I'm trying to make a game, but I have not been accepted into early access. What's up, the truth? Well, you will be. They usually respond within 20 to 48 hours. And from what I've heard from them on their live streams and videos, is basically everybody gets accepted. The main reason people do not get accepted is because they've had like a typo in the email address. So, you know, as long as you didn't have a typo in your email address, they'll send you a link for the iOS or Android device. Until then, check out their YouTube videos, check out my YouTube videos, check out wiki.hypehype, because you're gonna have a lot of fun making games. And like this here, this isn't even a game. I'm just trying to make it rain cats and dogs because why not? Although trying being the key word here. I am new to HypeHype. I'm still trying to figure things out, and yeah, you know, I've been making games for the App Store and Play Store for the last 5 years, and I gotta be honest with you, it's fun. It's cool. It's cool making games. The biggest thing with the App Store though is you have to do so much to like publish. You have to do like screenshots that have to be a certain format, a certain size, a certain everything. Like everything has to be, there's a lot of checkboxes, which makes sense. They're there for, you know, government laws and regulations, which as someone who travels a lot, you know, from one government to another, they're just like rules and it's just a bunch of boring stuff. Like it's just checkboxes that somebody has to check, and like it's yeah. Okay. Oh, and music is back. So cool thing with HypeHype is you just get to focus making on the games or the landscapes or whatever it is you're into. You just focus on that. Right now, I'm trying to focus on making it rain a Chihuahua dog. Let's go take a look at the dog. Maybe he's not a physical dog. Maybe he... You know what? Maybe I should make him bigger. I mean, I can make him a pudgy dog too. Okay. Bring in a cat. Okay, let's take a look again. So the upside is I got one of it to work. Awesome. I've been watching your videos. I'm impressed with everything you are showing, and I will take that advice and look at more videos and documentation. documentation. Yeah, man, dude, like the downside is you will probably not stop looking at videos and documentation. It like learning, you'll just get into a fun process of learning where you have to learn more and more and more, and then the more you learn, the cooler things you can do. It's like it's technically work, but it's fun work, so it's not that bad, because it is still reading. And you know, HypeHype is cool because they do live streams every week, and that is huge. And their Discord channel, you know, you can type questions in, you can just, you know, there's a community. I've been making games for a long time, and the first time I ever, like, I think I paid $5,000. I mean, I was living in New York City. I had a job where I was making lots of money, so it really isn't that big of a deal because, again, I had a job. But yeah, and I was using Unity, and it was like one of those classes where you make like one game every 2 to 4 weeks. And the teacher I had, he, you know, really cool guy, got featured on the App Store, makes really great games, simple games. But the thing I learned most, and like to me, the most value I got from that $5,000, which looking back, I mean, that's literally, I could for $5,000, I could live anywhere in the world for 5 months, 3 months. I mean, if I bought a plane ticket there one way, yeah, and technically I would do that now. But that value that I learned was the community, that because there was like 20 of us. There was maybe like 10 to 20 of us, and the dudes that play crafting, like, which is, if you're in New York City, it's a really good group. Everything used to be free, but now you have to pay for like everything, which I get that because it's New York City and everything is more expensive in New York City. Like, you have no idea. Basically, you have to pay twice as much and you get half, and you have to like it. That's New York. I do miss it though. What was I saying? Oh yeah, the community. There was all these other developers, and we would all try to make our own games and do this stuff using Unity. You know, Flappy Bird clones, 3D going through wall clones, first-person shooter clones. They still have those classes if anyone's interested, but they're $5,000. And you know, this is 2020, and that was 2017. It had to be 2016. That was 5 years ago. But now you can just go to HypeHype.com, download, send them your email information. They send you a link, and you can make games on your phone with no code. Now, I'll be honest with you, it does take a little bit longer because you're basically just moving stuff with your hands. Cool Gunny, are you still using BuildBox? Nah, man. I wish them luck. BuildBox was a software I was using for, I would say, 4 to 5 years. I think that software has great potential. I just don't understand where they're going and what they're trying to accomplish. And as someone who has been using that software, prior to like whenever, sometime in the summer, yeah, man, it's just, I just want to make games. That's it. Like, it's not, for me, it's not complicated. And BuildBox that's not what they're about, in my opinion. And from my experience, you know, and yeah, but they were built, is my hair like all weird? The BuildBox Classic and the 3D, a lot of fun. It was fun. But even then, you have to like use your computer, which is cool, but I like making games on the iPad and on my phone. I was in line at T-Mobile. I was like, oh, let me change the view in the trees and see if I can't get it to rain cats. So you can't do that with the software where you need a computer in front of you. And yeah, but there's plus and minuses to every kind of software. I would not recommend like BuildBox. Um, Personally, as someone who has experience with it, only because yeah. But there's other game engines out there like Godot, Unity, and with Unity you can use what is it, Bolt. Um, so oh, and honestly, Core, that one looks really cool too. That's by Unreal. Uh, I was gonna look into that as well. Roblox, but even then, I hear you have to code in some of those. I don't know. For me, I just want to focus on making games or landscapes and doing stuff on an iPad. Dude, I swear I feel like I'm in the future. Like, I can go to anywhere, take out my iPad, and just start working on a game. I remember when I was going to places, coffee shops all over the world, taking my computer out and working on games, which also super fun. Using BuildBox, like beaches in Goa, India, the Wi-Fi was mediocre at best, but is enough to just get game concepts out. But now, using an iPad, it, when it's fun to make games, it makes it easier and more fun to spend more time making games. I look at it like Netflix, right? Or watching TV. Sometimes I'll be watching TV or Netflix or HBO Go or Apple or Hulu. I have all of them, and I just, when I can't find anything that I want to watch, and there's so much out there. I mean, technically I'm an American, half American, Korean American. We love our TV. We love our good shows, our movies, our all that stuff. But when I can't find anything to watch, I'm gonna play a game. I'm gonna make a game. I'm gonna, it's a good way to focus one's time and energy and get better at all of it. Why is this dog not coming? Okay. So this case is 0. Maybe this needs to be 0. And then this is also 0. And then the case is always 0. Go dog. Yep, I see a dog. Okay, but the dog is not rotating. Let's get the dog to rotate. I think I'm gonna just spend a lot of time. I'm telling you, like, making games is difficult, and I'm new to HypeHype, and sometimes it gets so frustrating because everything that I want to do isn't working. Spending my time to just make a scenery gets you more familiar with HypeHype, and you don't have the pressure of trying to like make a game. So let's get this dog to spin. So the cat's spinning, and he's got a bunch of stuff going on with him. I feel like I'm talking a lot. Got a bunch of stuff. So in HypeHype, when you have objects like cats and dogs, the sentences are ridiculous that are raining from the sky. These are objects. I've created the objects as dynamic objects. And where is it? The physics, I mean, we can mess with the physics, but it's a dynamic object, which means it can move and it can interact. We can see it falling from the sky and bouncing on the ground. Now, I have this random node, and we can see what the random node does here. all over HypeHype where there's a little question mark, it will take you to the wiki.hypehype page. And so when this animal is created, this random, which exists inside the object, because you can also have these nodes outside the object, and that's just an insight into how you can do things in so many different ways in HypeHype. So the random goes to the vector transform. Now the vector transform transforms the object in either 3 different ways. Rotate, move, or scale. So we can move it and basically just like shooting it off into a direction. We can make it go bigger or smaller, or rotate. And so what we are doing here is we're having it rotate so that when the dog or cat falls from the sky, it's not falling like this all the time. You know, it's spinning. So that's the goal. So I think I'm just gonna go ahead and do that here. So we select that button here, right here. Or is it random? Find it, vector transform, and I think there was another one. Oh, collision and destroyer. So we also want to destroy the object because if you notice, it's raining cats and dogs. Ha ha ha. Those dogs and cats, they collect up. They're, you know, if we just leave this, oh, I want those smoke particles to be bigger too. We just leave this alone, it's gonna just drag like the memory. And being conscious about what memory is being used, what memory is being deleted, these are all important variables that you need to take into account as a game developer. I mean, technically you don't have to, but then it will affect your game, so you will. So one way or another, it will eventually become a thing you need to pay attention to. Okay, so random, what did I do, 10? Yeah. Okay. On random variable, vector transform. And this is where I've said this before and I'll say it again, mainly probably to myself and to anyone trying to learn. When you're outputting the variable, you don't always hit execute. This is a huge mistake I still do today, is I hit execute. I'm like, oh, I just wanted to do this. No, we wanted to change randomly the vector X. And I'm gonna do it again. And we wanted to change randomly the vector Z. A lot of times, I just mess this up consistently. I consistently mess it up. Oh, and looks like also the Y. Oh wait, hold on. I'm gonna make some changes. Gotta make some YouTube changes. Just a second. Okay. Oh, here we go. Oh, and where's my chat? There it is. Looking good. So now we can see that the dog is still not being moved. Okay, that's okay. That's okay. We can figure this out. on start. That's what it was. Okay, and so it looks like some of it's making it fly that way. So that's not what we. Oh, you know, yeah, move. We don't want it to move. We want it to rotate, and that I did that on purpose as a example. Yes. Okay, so let's do all that for all these other animals. Physical. Is it random? Vector transform. Was that it? And yep. And then we'll have to figure out the destroying stuff later. Random. Vector transform. The upside to this is I have to do this over and over again. And doing it over and over again helps solidify this process in my mind to help me understand it and make less mistakes in the future. So always try to find the positive in the negative. You will be unstoppable. Boom. We want on start. Vector transform X, the Y, and for the Z. Not forget to change it to rotate. Oh, and so I also missed this before. We want to set the duration to 0. That's a really good idea because when the duration is 0, that means it's happening always, as opposed to a specific plan of like doing it in 1 second. I think I need to change it for this one as well. Vector X. Y. Vector C. Z. Set for rotate. Okay, set to rotate. All right, nice, looking good. And next, gotta get this switch value. Case of 0. Right, let's grab this, duplicate, and we can move it over here. Up here, that. Case 1 over here. We're doing a spawner and this is for execute. Let's select the spawner. And we can set the object to the Shiba. Shiba. And hear that. Case number 2, execute. And we can set it for this cat. Oops, zoom in. Okay, let's take a look. Okay, the Chihuahua does not seem to be rotating, and I thought we had that one working, so I'm a little confused. And maybe we can just select it. Okay, so it looks like the random number is 0. That doesn't seem so random. Yo, what's up, Matt? Happy Friday. The weekend is here, finally. I did celebrate a little bit last night, early though. Okay, why is that not rotating? How's Michigan? Is it getting cold yet? We got a super misty gray day in Kentucky. The rainforest cat. Yo, yeah, man. Raining cats and dogs. Okay, let's take a look at this. Okay, so I'm missing something. No. It's not bad for December. I mean, we're almost to the middle of December. Okay, 0, 10. Vector X, Y, Z. Oh, maybe I should make sure they're dynamic objects. Dynamic object. So something's different between this cat and this Chihuahua. Chihuahua? Wow. Chihuahua. That can't be right. Change the size and color. Yeah, which one? Which one should I change? Okay, random 0 to 10. Random 0 to 10. Vector transform XYZ. Variable vector transform XYZ. Enable on start. Ah, the duration. What it is. Let me go and make sure I set that to 0 for all of these. Let's take a look. Oh, you know what it is? Is I need to change also this random. Right now it's 0 to 0, and it's now 0 to 0, 1, 2. 0 to 2. And if you wait, and if you want, and you wait long enough, the animals grow giants. Yeah, that's a cool concept. I'm trying to figure out how to destroy the animals, because we can see right now that they're piling up, and when you get too many of these cats and dogs, then we'll get lag, and then everything will slow down, and the player will have a poor user experience. But if we wanted to make the objects and animals bigger, we would add another vector transform, and then just go here, and instead of rotate, put it to scale, and increase these numbers to, let's say, like 5, 5, 5, and then have it execute after, let's say, 5 seconds. That's how you can get the animals to grow. But right now I'm trying to get them to spin. Why are they not spinning? That's cool. This is mainly for fun anyways. It was a gloomy day and I was just like, oh man, raining cat. I've been thinking about doing this for a while. So now I've made some headway. I would say all in all, this is maybe 2 hours of work, which I can never tell if that's a lot of time or a little bit of time. Like my reference on time is like, is that good or is that bad? The cool thing is over time, like let's say in the future HypeC, we'll be able to do that so much faster. But present day. Okay, let me get this. So when you're zoomed in, like right now I'm zoomed in on the second floor of this house. It moves super quickly. Like it's very sensitive. The way to counteract that is you select an item that's in front of you, and then it will give you the moving ability in reference of that object. Whereas in before, it's probably selected to another object way outside the scene. So we can do something like this. And I can get this here. Maybe we can even watch him from a window. No, that's kind of creepy. Okay, yeah. Here we go. And then set camera. Save it. Let's go play some games. Now, yeah, duplicate the brisk shower into drowning the kitty puppies and watch that poodle. Oh, somebody's into puns. Is that? I got it. That was good. Okay, so HypeHype has lots of games, and I like to be at the top of the leaderboard. It's true. I do consider myself an amazing gamer, and right now, my twin is in the next room playing, I want to say Apex Legend. Yeah, I can just hear the gunshots going off. But I like hyper casual games, so let's find. I don't know if I played this one. Oh, look at that, ranked number 4. That's a pretty good score. I'm cool with that. Oh. No, I definitely got a high score on this one. Well, let me check. Yeah, I got the highest of scores. Actually, I know that there is a game by Liu King. It'd be cool if you can tap on people's name. Oh, there we go. So let's check out Forgotten Dungeon. There's no leaderboard on this game. We need to add plenty of meows of disapproval from cats not loving water. Dude, That's actually brilliant. Is there a meow sound? I'm super curious. I gotta check that out. Okay, so this one, let's see, we got Ryan PH at number 1 for 14 seconds. Definitely, I can beat this. Okay, so first thing is some games are designed for landscape and some are for portrait. Gotta make sure, because if you know, it'll just help get the high score. Select a block for Ronnie. Okay, how do we play this? Okay, okay. So does anybody remember what we had? Because I still want to get that high score. So you need to remember the variable values in the switch nodes. Yeah, yeah. And I'm not sure how it works between like 0, 1, 2, and default. Okay. Oh, do I have to get everything? Okay, so I'm thinking you need to get all the squares. Which seems a little confusing. No, I was going to. No, that's. Counterclockwise is this way. Yeah, I'm saying it wrong or I'm saying it right. Chihuahua. Okay. Chihuahua. Is it? That can't be it. That can't. It can't be Chihuahua. That doesn't sound right. Chihuahua. There's a place that I used to live in San Francisco. Amazing Mexican food, like the best, but nobody liked it. Like nobody went there, and so they were going out of business, and they rebranded and they put up a bunch of hipster cool stuff in the little restaurant. Like it was basically like glass painted Mexican art, like skulls and stuff. And they renamed the restaurant Little Chihuahua, which again I can't say it because I don't exactly know, and it's just one of those glitches I have at this exact moment. But they renamed it Little Chihuahua, and yeah, then they became super famous, and now there's like 5 of them in San Francisco, and I think they're all over California. But they used to be just a generic Mexican restaurant that didn't get any love, and they leveled up their game, and now they're amazing. Okay, so let's do this. I think the trick is to have Ronnie move while you're still moving your stuff. Or have Ronnie move while placing the objects down. We're gonna have to do this all again. Oh no. There. We're gonna do this all again because I want that first place score. The question is just whether or not you can have Ronnie go one way and then go back the same way. Like 43 seconds? There's no way I'm going to get first place for 43 seconds. So let's test something out. See if this makes him go backwards. So I figured it out.